Hello, welcome to Sportin Wood. This video is to introduce you to our Stealth Stash and show you the ease of its operation and the ease of its installation. It's very simple to open. It's designed to hold a small handgun or even hide jewelry or important papers. It's very easy to install. It goes right in between two of your wall studs. It only takes a couple of simple tools to cut the hole out for the box to fit into. And we're going to show you how easy it is to install right now. Okay, step one, we're going to show you how to get the Stealth Stash prepared for installation. First thing you want to do is open the frame. You're going to need to take the frame off of the Stealth Stash so you can install a picture or a document or whatever you want to in there. There's a little plastic button right here. You push that button in, the frame slides right off. Set the frame aside. And there's two protective pieces of wood to protect these metal flanges that hold the Stealth Stash to the wall. We need to remove those two wood pieces. They're just for shipping. So get yourself a flat bladed screwdriver. You could even use a butter knife. There's just a couple of small brad nails, and I'm just prying underneath this board, and it's going to pop right off. Okay, the minimum tools required to install the Stealth Stash are a pencil, a hammer, a tape measure, and a utility knife for cutting the hole. To make the ease of the cutting the hole a little bit easier, we suggest a keyhole saw if you have one, and some painter's tape for when you're finding your studs you don't mar the wall, and you can also use it to mark the locations where the Stealth Stash is going to be in the wall. Okay, you've already located where in your home you're going to put your Stealth Stash, in your living room or your bedroom. So what we suggest is you're going to put it at a height at approximately eye level, which is like you would hang a picture. So I'm going to choose this height for mine right here. And then we're going to take the painter's tape and we're going to come down here. We're going to put the painter's tape on the wall at approximately where the bottom of the box is. So eye level, then come down to where the bottom of the box is, and I'm going to locate that right here. Okay, I'm going to get my painter's tape, and I want to stretch about 2 feet or so of this painter's tape across that area. And we use painter's tape so you don't take paint off of your wall. And just kind of eyeball it for level. And take your Stealth Stash and hold it back up there so you can kind of see where exactly you want it. I'm going to want mine right about there. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make a mark. And that's going to be the bottom of my box. Okay, now we have to locate the studs. And we're going to use the old-fashioned hammer method, and you listen for hollow spots in the wall and then a solid spot. There's a solid spot, sounds like. Okay, that's where my stud is, right there. So now I need to mark that, but I'm going to mark it down here where the tape is. This is where my stud is. Okay, so now I want to get my tape measure, and I'm going to measure over 8 inches from this mark, which is going to be the center line of the stealth stash. So from that mark, come over 8 inches, and make that line. Okay, now that we've found the center line on the wall where we want the stealth stash to be centered, we provide a center line on the stealth stash, and that's the line that we're going to line up with this center line to keep everything centered. So, I'm going to put the box up here, find that center line, and find this other line for the bottom of the box. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball that and get it level. There is some adjustment here. If it's not perfectly level, there is some adjustment to level the frame. But what you might want to do, if you have a small level, go ahead and use that. That way you can use that bubble and get everything nice and level that way. Now that I have the box in place, I want to put a good amount of pressure on here right now to hold it in place while I mark my line around the box, which is going to be our cutout line. Go all the way around. Okay, now that we have our hole marked that we're going to cut it out, I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to use a keyhole saw. You can use a utility knife, but it takes a lot longer. Get a keyhole saw if you can. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a little finger hole, so when I cut the whole thing out, I can pull it out of there without it falling into the wall. I'm just going to start up here in the right hand corner, and I'm going to cut right on the line. Just follow the line. Okay, I'm almost finished with my cut, so I'm going to get my finger in the finger hole so I don't drop this behind the wall. My cut, and it comes right out. Okay, now that we have our hole cut out, we're ready to install the stealth stash. It's just going to slide right in, and it's going to flush up on these metal flanges right to the drywall. Then you have these 4 dowel pins that we're going to drive in, and the dowel pins are going to wedge it to the drywall and hold it in place. What you want to do is make sure that each of these dowel pins, it has a taper on one end, and you want that taper to face towards you so it wedges to the back side of the drywall. So make sure all of those tapers are facing the correct direction towards you. And then it's as simple as tapping them into place. It's installed. Now all we got to do is get a picture in our frame and mount that, and we'll be done. Okay, now that the stell stash is installed to the wall, we just have to put the frame back on. And what you've done is you've put a photograph of some sort, or a picture, or a document, or something in this frame. And we're going to reattach the slide to the slide here. Just open that up. Line the grooves up. Slide it in. And there's your picture on your wall. Now you want to check it for level. Just look at it, see if it looks a little off. Sometimes it'll be a little off. This one looks like it's leaning this way a little bit. Or if you do have your little level, you can double check it with your level. And the bubble's off a little bit, so this side needs to come up a little. So what we're going to show you is we have an adjustment inside the box that you can straighten this frame up if it is a little off. Go. Okay, since we know our picture frame is not level, we're going to show you how to level it up. Just slide her open, and inside the stell stash there is an adjusting mechanism right here. And since I know this side has to come up a little, I'm just going to turn that screw up, level that frame off, and then double check it for level. I actually went a little bit too far. So it does have adjustment both ways, up and down. I'm going to bring it back down a little. Still just a little too far. That's good right there. When you have it set, there's a little nut on here to lock it into place. You don't need a wrench or anything. All you got to do is make that finger tight, and it'll keep that screw from moving. And that's all there is to it. You've just installed your stell stash.